In World War II, there were four children named Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy lived with their mother. At one night, they were trying to save themselves from bombing.
Edmund, get away from there! Peter, what do you think you are doing? Peter, quickly, the shelter, now!
Come on! Wait! Come on, leave it!
Mommy!
Lucy, come on!
The Pevensies were running to the shelter, but Edmund turned around as if he's forgetting something.
Come on, quickly!
Run! Run!
Hurry!
Mom!
Wait! Dad! Ed!
Edmund, no!
I'll get him!
Peter, come back!
Ed! Come here! Edmund! Get down!
While Edmund running inside to grab their dead Peter, Peter pushed him to the floor as the window exploded.
Come on, you idiot! Run! Get out!
Peter luckily saved Edmund. They ran back into the shelter.
Come on, hurry!
Why can't you think of anyone but yourself? You are so selfish. You could have got us killed.
Stop it! It's okay!
What can you do as you're told?
That night, they were saved from the bombing and decided to leave London by train. At the London station, the station was very crowded. Therefore, the children took precedence for riding the train.
Children and evacuation staff, attention! Would all parents ensure that their children have the appropriate identification paper?
You need to keep this on, darling. All right. Are you warm enough? Cute girl.
If Dad were here, he wouldn't make us go.
If Dad were here, it meant the war was over and we wouldn't have to go.
You will listen to your brother, won't you, Edmund? Promise me you'll look after the others.
I will, Mom.
Good man.
All aboard! All aboard!
Susan, be a big girl. Hold on to your brother's hand. Don't let it go. All right? Off you go.
All aboard! Come along! Come along this way, please.
Come on, Lucy. We've got to stick together now. Everything is gonna be all right. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Peter, Susan, Lucy, and Edmund got into the train and parted with their mother. They waved their hands as a farewell to their mother.
Bye-bye, dear.
Bye, Mom. We'll miss you. See you soon.
Bye!
We'll miss you.
Write to us, Mom.
Love you.
The train departed to their destination.
Finally, the train arrived at the destination. The siblings were waiting for someone who would pick up and take them to the professor's house.
The professor knew we were coming.
Perhaps we've been incorrectly labeled.
Good morning.
Mrs. Macready.
I'm afraid so. Is this it then? Haven't you brought anything else?
No, ma'am. It's just us.
Small favors.
It was Miss Macready, the professor's assistant. She drove up the Pevensies to a huge house. After driving a while, they arrived. The Pevensies entered and climbed up the stairs behind Mrs. Macready.
Professor Kirk is not accustomed to having children in this house, and as such, there are few rules we need to follow. There will be no shouting or running, no improper use of the dumbwaiter, and no touching of historical artifacts. And above all, there shall be no disturbing of the professor.
Later that night,
Gastrovascular. Come on, Peter. Gastrovascular.
Is it Latin?
Yes.
Is it Latin for worst game ever invented?
we could play hide and seek.
Well, we're already having so much fun.
Come on, Peter. Please, pretty please.
Mhm. 1, 2, 3, 4,
What?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
The Pevensies were playing hide and seek. They ran to hide. Lucy went to hide behind a curtain, but Edmund ran up and pushed her out.
I was here first.
Lucy noticed a fly on the window sill. She walked up to the wardrobe and pulled off the sheet.
Lucy hid in the wardrobe, leaving the door open of course. She found herself in a snowy wood. She was amazed at what she saw, and was completely in awe of it all. She checked to make sure she could get back out through the wardrobe. A few minutes later, she walked up to a lamppost burning in the middle of the woods. She heard hoofbeats. A fawn stepped out from among the trees.
The fawn looked out from behind a tree defeatedly, while Lucy looked from behind the lamppost. Then she came out and picked up his parcels.
Charles,
Were you hiding from me?
no. Oh well. I just know. I was just. I didn't want to scare you.
If you don't mind my asking, what are you?
Well, I'm a phone. And what about you? You must be some kind of little dog.
I'm not a dog, I'm a boy. And actually, I'm tallest in my class.
Well, do you mean to say that you are a doctor of Eve?
Well, my mom's name is Helen.
Yes, but you are in fact human.
Yes, of course.
So, what are you doing here?
Well, I was hiding in the wardrobe in the spare room and...
Spare room? Is that in Narnia?
Narnia? What's that?
Well, dear Cole, you are in it. Everything from the lamppost all the way to Camp Narator on the Eastern Ocean. Every stick and stone you see, every icicle is Narnia.
This isn't an awfully big wardrobe.
Wardrobe? I'm sorry. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tumnus.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. Tumnus. I'm Lucy Pevensie. Oh, you shake it.
Why?
I don't know. People do it when they meet each other.
Well then, Lucy Pevensie from the shining city of Wardrobe in the Wonderland of Sparrow. How would it be if you came and had tea with me?
Well, thank you very much, but I probably should be getting back.
Yes, but it's just around the corner. And there will be a glorious fire with toast and cakes. And perhaps we even break into the sardines.
I don't know.
Come on. It's not every day that I get to make a new friend.
Well, I suppose I could come for a little while if you have sardines.
By the bucket load, not much further, but until you see it. You're right.
Hmm?
Well, here we are. Come along.
Tumnus took Lucy to his residence, a house made of wood and with a small door with ornaments in the shape of a god.
After you, Lucy.
Oh,
Well, now that is my father.
he has a nice face. He looks a lot like you.
No. I'm not very much like him at all. Really.
My father is fighting in the war.
Same. My father went away to war too. But that was a long time ago, before this dreadful winter.
Winter's not all bad. There's ice skating and snowball fights. Oh, and Christmas.
Not here, Lucy. No. We haven't had a Christmas in 100 years.
What? No presents for 100 years?
Yes, you're right. Always winter, never Christmas. It's been a long winter, but you would have loved Narnia in summer. The phones dance with the threads all night, and never got tired. And music, oh, such music. Would you like to hear some now?
Yes, please.
Now, are you familiar with any Narnia lullabies?
Sorry, no.
Well, that's good. Because this probably won't sound anything like one.
Tumnus played a Narnia lullaby, and Lucy watched Narnians dancing in the fire and fell asleep under an enchantment. Hours later, she woke up. The sun had set. I should go.
It's too late for that now. I'm such a terrible phone.
Oh, no. You're the nicest fawn I've ever met.
Then, I'm afraid you have had a very poor sampling.
No, you can't have done anything like that.
It's not something I have done, Lucy Pevensie. It's something I'm doing.
What you're doing?
Well, I'm sorry. I'm kidnapping you. It was the White Witch. She is the one who makes it always winter, always cold. She gave orders. If any of us ever find a human wandering in the woods, we are supposed to turn it over to her.
But, Mr. Tumnus, you wouldn't. I thought you were my friend.
No, she may already know you're here. The woods are full of her spies. Even some of the trees are on her side. Can you find your way from here?
I think so.
All right, Lucy.
Will you be alright?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Here.
Keep it. You need it more than I do.
No matter what happens, Lucy Pevensie, I'm glad to meet you. You have made me feel warmer than I've felt in 100 years. Now, Coco.
Lucy ran off and Mr. Tumnus returned to his home.
98, 99, 100. Ready or not, here I come.
It's all right. I'm back. I'm all right.
Shut up. He's coming.
You know, I'm not sure you two have quite got this idea of this game.
Weren't you wondering where I was?
That's the point. That was why he was taking you.
Does this mean I win?
I don't think Lucy wants to play anymore.
But I've been gone for hours.
Lucy told them about the wounds inside the wardrobe. Susan and Edmund examined the wardrobe and checked the back of the wardrobe.
Lucy, the only wood in here is the back of the wardrobe.
One game at a time, Lou. We don't all have your imagination.
But I wasn't imagining.
That's enough, Lucy.
I wouldn't lie about this.
Well, I believe you.
You do?
Yeah, of course. Didn't I tell you about the football field in the bathroom cupboard?
Will you just stop? You just have to make everything worse, don't you?
It was just a joke.
When are you gonna learn to grow up?
Shut up. You think you are that, but you are not.
Well, that was nicely handled.
But it was there.
Susan's right, Lucy. That's enough.
She put on her boots and took the candle. Edmund came out and saw Lucy. He followed her to the wardrobe. Lucy's candle blew out when she opened the wardrobe door. She climbed inside as Edmund enters the room.
Lucy, where are you? Ooh, Lucy, hope you are not afraid of the dark. Lucy, 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 where are you, Lucy? I think I believe you now.
Edmund walked past the lamppost and further into Narnia. He hears bells ringing.
Lucy, Lucy.
Yeah.
Edmund dove out of the way into the snow. A dwarf hopped out from the sleigh. Edmund ran, but the dwarf threw a whip around Edmund's leg and put a knife to his throat.
Oh, leave me alone.
What is it now, Ginarrbrik?
Make him let me go. I didn't do anything wrong.
How dare you against the Queen of Narnia?
I didn't know.
You will know her better, remember?
Wait. What is your name, son of Adam?
Edmund.
And how, Edmund, did you come to enter my dominion?
I'm not sure. I was just following my sister.
Your sister? How many are you?
4. Lucy's the only one that's been here before. She said she met some fawn called Tumnus. Peter and Susan didn't believe her. I didn't either.
Edmund, you look so cold. Will you come and sit with me? Now, how about something hot to drink?
Yes, please, Your Majesty.
The witch took a phial and dropped a green drop on his nose that transformed into a hot drink. Ginarrbrik gave it to Edmund.
Your drink, sire.
How did you do that?
I can make anything you like.
Can you make me taller?
Anything you'd like to eat?
Turkish delight?
Another drop came down and turned into a box of Turkish delight, and Ginarrbrik gave it to Edmund.
Edmund, I would very much like to meet the rest of your family.
Why? They are nothing special.
Oh, they're not. I'm sure they're not nearly as delightful as you are. But you see, Edmund, I have no children of my own. And you are exactly the sort of boy who I could see one day becoming Prince of Narnia. Maybe even king.
Really?
Of course, you'd have to bring your family.
Oh, do you mean Peter would be king too?
No. But a king needs servant.
I guess I could bring them.
Beyond these woods, you see those two hills? My house is right between them. You'd love it there, Edmund. It has whole rooms simply stuffed with Turkish delight.
Couldn't I have some more now?
No! Don't want to ruin your appetite. Besides, you and I are going to be seeing each other again very soon, aren't we?
I hope so, Your Majesty.
Until then, dear one, I'm gonna miss you.
The White Witch left Edmund alone. She had gone from the eye, and suddenly
Edmund? Oh, Edmund, you got in too. Is it wonderful?
Where have you been?
With Mr. Tumnus. He's fine. The White Witch hasn't found out anything about him meeting me.
The White Witch?
She calls herself the Queen of Narnia, but she really isn't. Are you alright? You look awful.
Well, what do you expect? I mean, it's freezing. How do we get out of here?
Come on, this way.
Edmund and Lucy went back through the wardrobe. Then Lucy tried to tell about Narnia to her two older siblings.
Peter, wake up, Peter, wake up. It's there, it's really there.
Lucy, what are you talking about?
Narnia, it's all in the water, but like I told you.
You have just been dreaming, Lucy.
But I haven't. I saw Mr. Thomas again. And this time, Edmund went too.
You saw the fun?
Well, he didn't actually go there with me. What were you doing, Edmund?
Yeah, I was just playing along. I'm sorry, Peter. I shouldn't have encouraged her. But you know what little children are like these days. They just don't know when to stop pretending.
Lucy started to cry because no one believed her. She ran out of the room. Susan ran after her, and so did Peter, shoving Edmund over. Lucy ran down the hall and ran into the professor. She looked up and threw her arms around him.
Ah,
You children are 1 seconds shy of the sleeping on the stable. Professor, I'm sorry. I told them you were not to be disturbed.
it's all right, Mrs. Macready. I'm sure there is an explanation. But first of all, I think this one is in need of a little hot chocolate.
Yes, Professor. Come along, dear.
Professor sat at his desk and took some tobacco out of the silver apple case and put it on his pipe.
You seem to have upset the delicate internal balance of my housekeeper.
We're very sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
It is our sister, sir, Lucy.
The weeping girl.
Yes, sir. She is upset.
Ah, hence the weeping.
It's nothing. We can handle it.
Oh, I can see that.
She thinks she found a magical lamp in the upstairs wardrobe.
What did you say?
The wardrobe upstairs. Lucy thinks she found a forest inside.
She won't stop going on about it.
What was it like?
Like talking to a lunatic?
No, not her. The forest.
You are not saying you believe her?
You don't?
But of course not. I mean, logically it is impossible.
What do they teach in school these days?
Edmund said they were only pretending.
And he's usually the more truthful one, is he?
No, this would be the first time.
Well, if she's not mad and she's not lying, then we must assume that she's telling the truth.
You were saying that we should just believe her?
She's your sister, isn't she? And you're her family. You might just try acting like one.
Peter realized about what Professor said. He was thinking of it for the rest of the night.
Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy were playing baseball in the courtyard to spend their time in their foster home until Peter pitched the ball hard and Edmund struck it hard. It smashed through an upstairs window.
The children went upstairs. They were looking at the broken window and the suit of armor on the floor.
Well done, Ed.
You balled it.
What on earth is going on?
The Macready!
Run!
The children ran around the house looking for a place to hide.
Come on!
The children continued running frantically. The footsteps appeared to be everywhere.
No! Back!
Ed led the way into the spare room, ran up to the wardrobe, and opened the door.
Come on!
Oh, you have got to be joking!
The children ran into the wardrobe, and Peter peeked out through the crack in the floor.
Get back!
My toe!
I'm not on your toe. Move back.
Will you just stop?
Susan and Peter fell backwards into the snow. They got up from under the tree branches and looked around.
Impossible.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's just your imagination.
I don't suppose saying we're sorry would quite cover it.
No, it wouldn't, but that might.
Susan hit Edmund in the arm with one.
Oh, stop it.
You little liar.
You didn't believe her either?
Apologies to Lucy. Say you're sorry.
All right, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Some little children just don't know when to stop pretending.
Oh, very funny.
Maybe we should go back.
But shouldn't we at least take a look around?
I think Lucy should decide.
I'd like you all to meet Mr. Tumnus.
Well, then Mr. Thomas it is.
Children walked through the woods and looked at the snowy scenery in Narnia until everyone noticed the broken down door.
Lucy!
Now they all run to Tumnus' house.
Who would do something like this?
Edmund steps on the broken picture of Tumnus' dad. Peter gives him a dirty look before ripping a notice from the wall.
The vow Tumnus is hereby charged with high treason against Her Imperial Majesty Jadis, Queen of Narnia, for comforting her enemies and fraternizing with humans. Signed Maugrim, Captain of the Secret Police. Long live the Queen.
All right. No, we really should go back.
But what about Mr. Tumnus?
If he was arrested just for being with a human, I don't think there's much we can do.
You don't understand, do you? I'm the human. She must have found out he helped me.
Maybe we could call the police.
These are the police.
Don't worry, Lou. We'll think of something.
Why? I mean, he's a criminal.
Suddenly, there was a shot through the open door behind Edmund of a tree with a single robin on a branch.
Did that bird just pass us?
They step outside. They hear rustles from the bushes. The children move closer together, and suddenly a beaver appears.
It's a beaver.
Here, boy. Here, boy.
I'm gonna smell it if that's what you want.
Oh, sorry.
Lucy, Pevensie.
Yes. Hey, that's the hanky I gave to Mr.
Tumnus, he's got it immediately before they took him.
Is she all right?
Further in.
Mr. Beaver scurried off and Susan grabbed Peter by the arm.
What are you doing?
She's right. How do we know we can trust him?
He said he knows the farm.
He is a beaver. He should not be saying anything.
Everything all right?
Yes, we were just talking.
That's better left for several quarters.
Peter shrugged, took Lucy's hand, and followed the beaver. The others followed the beavers down through the cliffs.
Come on, we don't want to be here after nightfall.
They continue traveling under a bridge, and then they see the dam in the middle of a frozen pool. Smoke rises from the chimney.
Believe me, look like the old girl has a good kettle on. Nice cover, Rosalie.
It's lovely.
It's not trivial, still plenty to do, and quite finished it yet. It looks the wish need to finish it, though.
Is that you? I've been very sick. If I found out you've been without with the weather again, Oh. Well, those aren't weathers. Oh, I never thought I'd live to see this day. Look at my fur. You couldn't give me 10 minutes warning?
I will given a week if I thought it will be help.
Oh, come inside and see if we can get you some food and some civilized company.
Now, careful. Watch your step.
Isn't there anything we can do to help Tumnus?
Help taken him to the witch. You know what they say? There are few that go through the gates that come out again.
Mrs. Beavers does over and plum a plate on a table.
Isn't it? But there is hope, dear. Lots of hope.
Oh yeah, the red with word at home. Aslan is on the move.
The children all looked serene as Edmund came over from his place on the stairs.
Who's Aslan?
Who's Aslan? You cheeky little brother. What? You don't know, do you?
Well, we haven't exactly been here very long.
Well, he's the only king of the whole wood, the top desert, the real king of Narnia.
He's been away for a long while.
But he just go back and he's waiting for you near the stone table.
He's waiting for us?
You're blowing joking. They don't even know about the prophecy.
Well, then.
Look, Aslan returned. Hound's arrest. The secret police is all happening because of you.
You are blaming us?
No, not blaming you. Thanking you.
Here's a prophecy. When Adam flesh and Adam bone sit and the chair fell for enthroned, the evil time will be over and done.
You know that doesn't really rhyme.
Yeah, I know it doesn't, but you're kind of missing the point.
It has been long foretold that 2 sons of Adam and 2 daughters of Eve will defeat the Red Witch and restore peace to Narnia.
And you think we are the ones?
Well, it better be, because Aslan has defeated our army.
Our army?
Mom, send us away so we will not get caught in a war.
I think you've made a mistake. We're not heroes.
We were from Princely. Thank you for your hospitality, but we really have to go.
No, you can't just leave.
He's right. We have to help Mr. Tumnus.
It's out of our hands. I'm sorry, but it's time the 4 of us were getting home. Ed?
Edmund had disappeared. Peter looked around the room before turning back to Susan.
I'm gonna kill him.
You might not have to. Has Edmund ever been to Narnia before?
Hurry!
They reached the top of the hill. Edmund, in the distance, could be seen going through the witch's castle gates.
Edmund!
Here we are.
Peter starts to run after Edmund, but Mr. Beaver grabs him by the sleeve of his coat.
No!
Get off me!
You're flying into her hand.
We just can't let him go.
He's our brother.
He's the fate, the witch one of four of you.
Why?
To stop the prophecy from coming true. To kill you.
This is all your fault.
My fault?
None of this would happen if you just listened to me in the first place.
Oh, so you know this would happen.
I didn't know what would happen, which is why we shouldn't have lived where we still could.
Stop it! This isn't going to help Edmund.
It's right. Only Aslan can save your brother now.
Then take us to him.
Edmund was walking through the icy courtyard. He walked further in and found lots of stone figures. Edmund continued through the courtyard and stepped over another stone figure. Maugrim, a huge wolf and the captain of the witch's secret police, leaped up and pinned Edmund to the ground with his front paws.
Be still, stranger, or you never move again. Who are you?
I am Edmund. I met the queen in the woods. She told me to come back here. I'm a son of Adam.
My apologies. Fortunate favorite of the queen. Or else not so fortunate. Right this way.
Edmund was seen climbing so very step, I step, and walking into the throne room filled with smoking dry ice. A huge ice throne covered furs was at the end. Edmund and Maugrim walked towards it and stopped in front of it.
Wait here.
Edmund looked at him before walking up to the throne and sitting in it. He was clearly imagining what it would be like to be a king. The White Witch walked up to the throne on his left, unnoticed.
Like it?
Yes, Your Majesty.
I thought you might. Now tell me, Edmund, are your sisters deaf?
No.
And your brother, is he unintelligent?
Well, I think so, but Mom says...
Then how dare you come alone?
I tried.
Edmund, I ask so little of you.
They just don't listen to me.
You couldn't even do that.
I didn't bring them halfway. They are at the little dam with the beavers.
Well, I suppose you're not a total loss then, are you? Maugrim, you know what to do.
Maugrim let out a howl summoning the other wolves. Edmund watched them in horror. The wolves burst out from the throne room.
Mr. Beaver, Susan, Lucy, and Peter burst through the little door at top speed.
Hurry, Mama! They're after us!
Oh, right then.
Mrs. Beaver dashed around grabbing things from various cupboards.
What you doing?
Oh, you'll be thanking me later. It's a long journey and Beaver gets pretty cranky when he's hungry.
I'm cranky now.
The wolves were already at the den.
Hurry! Take them! Hurry!
The wolves got in. The place is empty. One started pounding at the door, opened it, and peered down the tunnel. Cut to inside the tunnel.
Quick, this way!
Hurry! Quick, quick, quick!
Lucy backed away as the others emerged, tripped, and fell flat on her back. Peter and Mr. Beaver rolled a barrel in front of the hole.
Suddenly, a fox appeared on a little ledge above the badger hole.
So, hey, this is what becomes those who cross the witch, eh?
You take one more step traitor and I chew you to splinter.
Whoa, relax, buddy. I'm one of the good guys, you know?
Yeah, well, you look an awful lot like one of the bad ones.
An unfortunate family resemblance, yes, but we can argue with the breeding later. Right now, we've got to move.
What did you have in mind?
The wolves burst out of the barrel-top hole and encircled the fox, who was in the process of covering the tracks with his tail before they came.
So, greetings, gents. Hey, lost something, have we?
Don't patronize me. I know where your legion lies. We are looking for some humans.
Humans here in Narnia. That's probably a bit of information, don't you think?
Your reward is your life. It's not much, but still, where were the fugitive?
Oh, okay, all right. North. They ran north.
Smell them out.
Later that night, in the middle of the cold snowy forest, they made a campfire.
So they were helping Tumnus. The witch got here before I did. Ow!
Are you alright?
Well, I wish I could say their bark was worse than their bite. Ow!
Stop squirming. You're worse than Beaver on that day.
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you for your kindness, by the way. But that's the cure I have time for.
You're leaving?
It has been a pleasure, my Queen Lucy, and an honor, I'll be honest. But time is short, and Aslan himself has asked me to gather some more troops.
See, Aslan.
What's he like?
Like everything you've ever heard, to be honest. You'll be glad to have him by your side in the battle against the witch.
But we were not planning to fight any witch.
But surely, King Peter, with Lucy, the prophecy.
We can go to war without you.
We just want our brother back. Where is Aslan now?
No, Aslan Camp is near the stone table, just across the frozen river.
River?
Oh, the river's been frozen solid for 100 years.
It's so far.
It's the world, dear. Did you expect it to be small?
Smaller.
A door opened and Edmund and Ginarrbrik walked through it into the courtyard. Edmund stopped short what he saw a new statue, Mr. Tumnus.
When you're ready, son of Adam.
The sleigh swept out of the castle doors and across the frozen lake surrounding it. Edmund huddled on the floor while the queen sat upright, wrapped in her furs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cut to a white short of Susan, Lucy, Peter, and the beavers walking across a huge frozen lake.
Come on, human, while we're still young.
If he tells us to hurry one more time, I'm gonna turn him into a bad fluffy hat.
Hurry up! Come on!
He's getting a little bossy.
No, behind you, it's her.
Run, run!
Run!
The children and the beavers fled across the lake and into the woods as the sleigh came behind them. They ran into the forest on the other end of the lake.
Hurry!
Inside! Dive, dive!
Quick, 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 quick.
Maybe she's gone.
I suppose I go look.
The elders looked at each other curiously before emerging and seeing Father Christmas, who laughed happily. Lucy walked towards him.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Ho, 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 ho. It certainly is, Lucy, since you have arrived.
Look, I have put up with a lot since I got here. But this...
We thought you were the witch.
Oh, yes, yes. I'm sorry about that. But in my defense, I've been traveling one of these longer than the witch.
I thought there was no Christmas in Narnia.
No, not for a long time. But the hope that you have brought, Your Majesty, is finally starting to weaken the witch's power. Still, I dare say, you could do with this.
Presents!
The juice of the fire flower, one drop that cure any injury. And though I hope you never have to use it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure you could, but petals are ugly affairs. Susan, trust in this bow, and it will not easily miss. So, you don't seem to have a problem making yourself heard. Blow on this horn, and wherever you are, help will come.
Thanks.
And Peter, the time to use these may be near at hand.
Thank you, sir.
These are tools, not toys. Bear them well and wisely. Now, I must be off. Winter is almost over and things piled up and we've been gone 100 years. Long live Aslan and Merry Christmas! Ho,
Merry
ho, ho.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, sir.
Bye, sir. See you next year.
Father Christmas went away. Then they continued their journey.
The children looked down the bank of the river, which is breaking into chunks of ice. They are floating away on the fast current. A frozen waterfall loomed on their left. Peter assessed the situation and, holding Lucy's hand, started to make his way down the bank. Susan grabbed his arm.
We need to cross now.
Don't be forced, my friends.
I'm not that fast, dear.
Come on.
Wait. Will you just think about this for a minute?
We don't have a minute.
I am just trying to be realistic.
No, you're trying to be smart, as usual.
Susan looked like she might stay, but the howling of the wolves in the distance changed her mind. The wolves were suffered at the cave where the children previously hid. Back at the river, Peter put a foot on the ice, and water spurted out from under it.
Wait, maybe I should go first.
Maybe you should.
Mr. Beaver tested out the ice with his feet and tail, trying to find the strongest passage.
The children started to follow Mr. Beaver across the ice.
If Mom knew what we were doing.
Mom's not here.
Oh, no.
Lucy noticed the wolves running across the top of the frozen waterfall to the other side of the river.
Run!
Hurry!
The wolves leapt in front of them on the frozen river. Turning they saw they see they were trapped by the rest of the wolves. Mr. Beaver tried to threaten, but it pounced on and pinned to the ground.
No, Lucy, Peter!
Put that down, boy. Someone could get hurt.
Don't worry about me. Run him through.
Leave now while you can. And your brother goes with you.
Stop, Peter. Maybe we should listen to him.
Smart girl.
Don't listen to him. Kill him. Kill him now.
Oh, come on. This is not your war. All my queen want is for you to take your family and go.
Look, just because some man in a red coat hands you a sword, it doesn't make you a hero. Just drop it.
No, Peter. Narnia needs ya. Got him. Got him, and you still have a chance.
What's it gonna be? Son of Adam? I won't wait forever, and neither will the river.
All of them noticed the waterfall was starting to crack and collapse.
Hold on to me.
Peter stabbed sword into the ice. The waterfall plucked down on them and swept them away. The beavers propelled the chunk of the ice to shore. Peter stood up, holding Lucy's coat in his hand, but no Lucy.
What have you done? Lucy! Lucy!
Has anyone seen my coat?
Don't you worry, dear. Your brother got you well looked after.
And I don't think you'll be needing those coats anymore.
They saw a blossom growing in sped up style and left their coats behind as the wood changes from winter into spring or summer.
The children were now just wearing their shirts and no socks. As they passed a tree, Lucy stopped and turned as dry forms and waved to her. She waved back and found the elders as they entered the camp. Centaurs, bears, fauns all stopped what they were doing as the children passed through the camp.
Why are they all staring at us?
Maybe they think you look honest. They stopped in front of an official-looking tent where General Aureus stood guard. Peter pulled out his sword and held it in front of him, pointing to the sky.
We have come to see Aslan.
Then flapped in the breeze and suddenly everyone kneeled. Aslan came out from the tent and the children kneeled as well.
Welcome, Peter, son of Adam. Welcome, Susan and Lucy, daughter of Eve. And welcome to you, beavers. I have my thanks. But where is the fort?
That's why we are here, sir. We need your help.
We all were.
Sir, it's all brother. I know, dear one, but that only makes the betrayal all the worse. This might be harder than you think.
Aslan took Peter up on a hill, looking towards Cair Paravel.
That is Cair Paravel, the castle of Fortune. You will see Peter as a high king. You drop the profession?
No, that's just it. Aslan, I'm not what you all think I am.
Peter Pevensie, formerly of Windsor. Before also mentioned you planned on turning him into a hat, Peter. Peter, there is a deep magic more powerful than any of us that rules over all of Narnia. It divides right from wrong and governs all our destinies, yours and mine.
But I couldn't even protect my own family.
You've brought them safely this far.
Not all of them.
Peter, I will do what I can to help your brother, but I need you to consider what I ask you. I do want my family safe.
While Peter, Susan, and Lucy and Aslan camped, Edmund was gagged and bound to a tree as the dwarf walked around him and thrown him in the witch camp.
Is our little prince uncomfortable? Does he want his feel of loved? Special treatment for the special boy! Isn't that what you want?
In the Aslan camp, Lucy and Susan were taking baths and talking.
You look like Mom.
Mom has not had a dress like this since before the war.
We should bring her one back. A whole trunk full.
If we ever get back, I'm sorry I'm like that. We used to have one together, didn't we?
Yes, before you got boring.
Oh, really?
Susan splashed Lucy with water. Lucy splashed her back, and they both ended up wet and laughing. Susan pulled a towel from a branch to reveal a wolf's faces, inches from her own.
Please don't run. We are tired, and I prefer to kill you quickly.
Susan!
Susan and Lucy were in a tree, and Maugrim was trying to get them. Peter charged across the river, brandishing his sword as Susan hauled her feet up.
Get back!
Come on. We've already been through this before. We both know you haven't got it in you.
Peter, watch out!
Aslan and a small group of soldiers appeared. Aslan pinned the second wolf to the ground.
No, stay your weapons. This is Peter's battle.
You may think you are a king, but you are going to die like a dog.
Look out!
Peter!
Susan and Lucy leapt to the ground. They pushed the wolf away to reveal a second up Peter, whom they both hugged.
After him, he will lead you to Edmund, Peter. Clean your sword. Rise, Sir Peter. Old Spam, Knight of Narnia.
The minister will take the left land. We will send the giant in the rivers and send the dwarves in first.
The White Witch stalks through camp and finds Ginarrbrik tied to Edmund's tree, gagged and with the point of his long head pinned to the tree by a dagger. She took the knife and looked like she's going to kill him, and then cut his spines down.
You are not going to kill me?
Not yet. We have work to do.
Peter emerges from his tent and notices Orius walking past. Orius stops and looks behind him. Peter follows his gaze. Aslan and Edmund are on a rock above camp, deep in conversation, but nothing can be heard. Lucy and Susan emerge from their tent and notice Peter. They also turn to see what he is looking at.
Edmund! What's Dhanis doing? There's no need to speak to Edmund about what is past.
Hello.
Are you all right?
I am a little tired.
Get some sleep. And Edmund, try not to wander off.
Later on, the four children are sitting around a low table eating breakfast. Edmund has changed his clothes and is dressed in a tunic like Peter. He munches hungrily on what looks like toast with honey.
Narnia's not going to run out of toast, Ed.
I'm sure Joel packed something up for the journey back.
We were going home?
You were. I promised Mom I'd keep you three safe. But it doesn't mean I can stay be help and help.
But they need us. All for us.
Lucy, it's too dangerous. You almost drowned. Edmund was almost killed.
Which is why we have to stay. I've seen what the White Witch can do. And I've helped her do it. And we can't leave these people behind to suffer for it.
Well, I suppose that is done.
Where are you going?
To get in some practice.
Susan and Lucy practice shooting at the target. Susan fires an arrow which hits just off center. Lucy takes out her dagger and grins. The dagger hits the bull's eye. Cut to Peter and Edmund riding at full gallop. They wheel around and practicing sword fighting.
Come on, Ed! Sword point up, like you always showed us.
Guard!
Now block!
Hey!
She is the Queen of Narnia!
Go away, witch!
Empress of the Gnome Island!
You don't belong here! Go away!
Jadis arrives at the camp on a little carriage by Cyclops. They set her down and she stands down and walks towards Aslan. The whole camp, including the children, are assembled in front of Aslan's tent. Aslan waits on a little rock statue.
You have a traitor in your midst, Aslan.
Wasn't against you.
Have you forgotten the laws upon which Narnia was built?
Do not see the deep magic to me, witch. I was there. It was written.
Then you'll remember well that every traitor belongs to me. His blood is my property.
Try and take him then.
Do you think that mere force will deny me my right, little king? Aslan knows that unless I have blood, as the law demands, all of Narnia will be overturned and perish in fire and water. That boy will die on the stone table, as is tradition. You dare not refuse me.
Enough! I shall talk with you alone.
After waiting long enough, the witch throws open the flaps of the tent. She walks back towards her seat, pausing to look at Edmund. Aslan walks the edge of the bed too.
She has announced her sort of Adam's mood.
How will I know your promise will be kept?
Aslan roars. The White Witch sits down suddenly in shock, and the camp laughs. She leaves everyone celebrating. Lucy notices Aslan, standing alone, looking very sad before going back into his tent. Then some dwarfs distract her.
Lucy is tossing and turning in her bed. He sits up suddenly as we see the shadow of Aslan go past.
Susan!
Susan wakes up. The girls get up and creep out from their tent and follow Aslan. They dart behind trees until Aslan realizes they're following him.
Shouldn't you put me in bed?
We couldn't sleep.
Please, Aslan, could not we come with you?
I would be glad of the company for a while. Thank you. It's time from here. I must go on home.
But, Aslan,
You have to trust me, for this must be done. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Lucy. And farewell.
Susan leads Lucy off towards another area of the wood where they can see the stone table. The table is surrounded by the witch creators, holding torches and jeering as Aslan walks up the steps to the table. The witch steps up onto the table, wearing a grey dress. She holds a stone knife in front of her. Aslan sees this and seems even sadder. He stops in front of the table.
Behold the great lion!
Ginarrbrik pokes him with the sharp end of his axe before slamming it into him and knocking Aslan to the floor.
Do you want some milk?
Why doesn't he fight back?
Bind him!
Tie him up. Get him.
Bring him to me.
Aslan is dragged into the stone table before the witch's feet. She kneels behind him.
You know, Aslan, I'm a little disappointed in you. Did you honestly think by all this you could save the human traitor? You are giving me your life and saving no one. So much for love. Tonight, the deed magic will be appeased. But tomorrow, we will take Narnia forever. In that knowledge, despair and die.
She plunges in the knife, and Aslan's eyes widen in shock and pain before slowly closing. Lucy and Susan begin sobbing.
The great cat is dead. Ginarrbrik, prepare your troops for battle, however short it may be.
The girls walk up the step and cry and lean on Aslan. Lucy unscrew her bottle of healing potion.
It is too late. He's gone. He must know. He must have known what he was doing.
Lucy buries her face into Aslan. Both girls succumb to their grief. Mice approach and begin chewing through the bones.
We have to tell the others.
We can just leave him.
Lucy, there's no time. They need to know.
The trees.
The wind blows petals into Aslan's camp and into the boys' tent. Peter wakes up and draws his sword in fear. Edmund looks confused and a bit scared as Giant forms out of the petals.
Be still, my princess. I bring grave news from your sister.
Peter walks out of Aslan's tent towards where Oreus and Edmund are waiting beside a table covered in battle plans.
She's right. He's gone.
Then you have to let us, Peter. There is an army out there, and it's ready to follow you.
I can't.
Aslan believe you could, and so do I.
The witch's army is nearing, Saya. What are your orders?
Peter looks at the map. Edmund analyzes the battlefield on a glyph. Then down to where Peter and Oreus wait on a small mound in the front of the army. Peter is fully armored on a white unicorn.
They come, Peter, in numbers and weapons far greater than our own.
Numbers do not win a battle.
No, I bet they help.
The witch's army arrives, with way more numbers than Peter's. The witch rides up onto her mount in a chariot pulled by polar bears. She is wearing a chainmail dress, a gold headdress, and Aslan's mane hangs from the headdress. The two armies face each other. Peter looks at Edmund on the hill, who nods down to him. He then draws his sword. A trumpet sounds, and his army cheers.
I have no interest in prisoners. Kill them all.
Yeah. Are you with me?
To the death.
For Narnia and for Aslan!
Go!
Go for Aslan!
Armies race toward each other, the four riders putting down their lances. The leopard clash with the wolves and tigers, and the two armies meet. The battle begins.
Lucy and Susan, who have fallen asleep over Aslan's body, wake up.
We should go.
Susan helps Lucy down the steps from the stone table. They start walking away. The earth shakes and there is a cracking sound. Both girls fall over.
I, Behind.
They walk back towards the stone table, which has cracked and from which Aslan's body has disappeared.
Where's Aslan?
What have they done?
The sun shines brightly on their face as they look towards the archway. Aslan appears with a nice new mane, and he is also a bit larger than before.
Aslan! But we found the knife. Do it!
Then the witch knew the true meaning of sacrifice. She might have interpreted the deep magic differently. That when a willing victim who has committed no treachery is killed in a treacherous deed, the stone table will crack, and even death itself will turn backwards.
He's sending news that you were dead. Peter and Edmund will have gone to the war.
So we have to help them. We will, dear one, but not alone. Climb on my back. We have far to go, and little time to get there. And you may go on to cover your ears.
Fire!
A centaur fires an arrow, which sparks in mid-air. A phoenix swoops down, bursting into flames as it does, and creates a wall of fire that separates the oncoming witch and the rest of her army.
Yes!
Peter's army cheers, but stops when the witch uses a spell to just blast the wall away and continues to advance.
Fall back! Draw them to the rocks!
Oh, you damn! Right the signal! Come on!
Cut to Aslan and the girls galloping through the beautiful countryside at top speed.
Where are we going?
Hang on!
Back to battle, Peter gallops into the rocks, but Ginarrbrik fires an arrow at his unicorn, which stumbles, falls and throws him. The witch and her army follow them into the rocks. Edmund reacts to Peter on the ground. Orius sees Edmund's face turn, sees Peter on the ground, and charges towards the witch with a random rhino at his side.
Stop!
Along the way, the rhino is floored, and Orius kills Maugrim with 2 swords in the back. Pulling out a 3rd sword, he leaps at the witch. The polar bear swipes at him. The witch ducks, spins her wand, and turns Orius to stone.
Cuts to stone, Centaur in the witch's castle. Lucy and Susan are looking for Mr. Tumnus. Lucy spots him in his stone state and starts to cry. Susan kisses her head and hugs her. Aslan walks up and breathes on Mr. Tumnus, and Mr. Tumnus changes shape. He falls forward into Lucy's and Susan's arms. He looks up, recognizing Lucy, and smiles.
Susan, this is
Tumnus!
Come, we must hurry and search the castle. Peter will meet everyone we can find.
Back to the battle. 2 griffins dive towards the witch, who swiftly slashes at one and turns the other into stone. It shatters on a boulder.
Edmund! There's too many! Get up here! Get the girls and get them home!
You heard him? Let's go! Peter said, get out of here!
It's not king yet.
Edmund rushes down to hill, jumps next to the witch, and brings his sword down on the witch's one. Smash it! There is a flash of blue light. Peter turns. Edmund pauses, giving the witch the advantage to right him of his shield and stab him with the remains of her wand.
Edmund!
Edmund collapses and lies still. Peter charges angrily at the witch, and they fight. The battle is vigorous.
We see Aslan's feet on a second, running quickly across the rocky terrain. Peter and the witch pause when they hear Aslan's roar from the top of the cliff.
Impossible!
Peter and the witch continue to fight. Aslan and his army rush to join the battle. The witch strips Peter and pins him to the ground with one of her swords through his chain mail. She stands over him, about to deliver the death blow, looks up, and Aslan leaps at her and pins her to the ground.
It's over. It's finished.
Peter! Where is Edmund?
Ginarrbrik hovers up and is about to finish Edmund.
Edmund! Ah!
Edmund coughs and gasps. Lucy pulls out her cordial and places one drop on Edmund's lips. The other children's eyes fill with tears. He stops moving momentarily before gasping and sitting up. Peter grabs him into a hug and presses his face into his shoulder, crying before letting go and holding on to him.
When are you gonna learn to do as you're told?
I love and embrace Edmund, who notices Aslan. The elders turns and see Aslan breaks on a stone satyr, bringing back to life. Lucy looks at her cordial, then runs off to heal others.
The four Pevensies walk up the aisle where all the centaurs are stood to attention. They pause, looking at their four thrones, which each have a significant carving on it. Then they walk up the steps and stand in front of their appropriate throne.
To the glistening eastern sea, I give you, Queen Lucy the Valiant. To the great western wood, King Edmund the Just. To the radiant southern sun, Queen Susan the Gentle. And the clear northern sky, I give you, King Peter the Magnificent. Once a king or queen of Narnia, always a king or queen. May your wisdom grace us on the stairs rhinestone from the heavens.
Long live King Peter!
Long live King
Long
Peter!
live King Edmund!
Long live
Long
King
live Queen
Edmund!
Susan!
Long
Long
live
live
Queen
Queen
Susan! And
Lucy!
long live Queen Lucy!
Aslan walking on the bench in the sunset. Lucy runs out onto the balcony and sees him walking away.
Don't worry, Lucy. We'll see him again.
When?
In time. One day, he will be here at the next he won. But you must not press him. After all, he's not a demon lion.
No, but he's good.
Here. You eat more than I do.
She takes it and sees that Aslan has disappeared. She looks at Tumnus in surprise, and he nods at her and takes her hand. She looks out to the sea and begins to cry softly.
The four other Pevensies are riding horse through the woods. They are after the white stag. It is autumn, and they are all wearing their crowns. Edmund slows down, and the elders gallop off.
Wow, what a nice view.
Come on, Ed.
Just catching my breath.
That's all we will get at this rate.
What did he say again, Susan?
You girls wait in the castle. I will get the stag myself.
What is this? It seems familiar.
As if from a dream.
Or a dream of a dream? Sparrow?
Do you see?
Not again.
Lou?
Come on. The branches get dancing. We begin to see some fur coats.
These aren't branches.
Ow! Oh!
They are coats.
Susan, you are on my foot.
Peter, move off.
Stop shoving.
Stop it. I'm not on you too.
All four children fall out of the wardrobe into the spare room. They look at themselves, each other, and then the doors as the professor walks in.
Ah, there you are. What were you all doing in the wardrobe?
You wouldn't believe us if you told me, sir.
Try me.
The wardrobe at night. Lucy approaches, opens the door, and looks inside. A voice makes her turn around.
I don't think you'll get back in that way. You see, I've already tried.
Will we ever go back?
Oh, I expect so. But it will probably happen when you're not looking for it. All the same, best to keep your eyes open.
They walk out of the room, and the wardrobe doors open a crack and like signs out of the "Here Aslan" scroll.